inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Night Brothers Hobbies. Today we're looking at our final boss miniature for Jungles of Delthrak. This is the Goblin Warlock. Really cool sculpt here, very unique. I like that little wand they got going on, a little crystal wand. And the huge hands, kind of reminiscent of the Warlock class. We have no concept art for this one, but I'm pretty sure we can come up with a color scheme or two. With a main skin color of green, we can think of some complementary colors, maybe red, purple, something like that. Why not both? Let's do it! We're going to start off with Luxian purple, so we are going to work with that purple. Kind of like a green goblin inspiration, I was thinking, right? From Spider-Man. This also goes with our Dread Sorcerer, right? We have some purple tones we're using in that one, so we're going to use it here. We're going all around on this robe, just the upper half of that bottom skirt area, and then delicately around the chest tunic and this cowl. There's some hair detail. These pigtails, there's 2 in the front, 1 in the back. So keep an eye out for those while going around this cowl and painting that up. And then for the bottom area, we're going to use Blood Angel's red, or any red, and we're going to do this little bottom skirt and give it a little bit of a red accent. Red goes with green really well. We know Christmas colors. We're also going to do some accessories. We got this belt. We have some little like hair ties as well on the pigtails or the braids. So just go around and pick out some of those accent details. Then we're going to go in with our usual goblin green skin color. So for me, that is this Mantis Warriors green. We're going to go around and get all those skin parts blocked in. Face, ears, hands, arms, and feet. Then we do have leather areas. We're going to use snakebite leather, our usual leather color. We're going to go around and get this bracer. There's some belts and bags around the waist. Just go in and get all of those. You can see here I'm going over this little orb thing. I think it's a flask, but I chose to make it just a round pouch. And then there's a wrap around the wand as well, so you can go in and get that. Skeleton Horde here for the wrapping on this wrist. Looks more like a bandage or something, so I chose to make it this kind of dirty wrap color, as well as we're using Skeleton Horde on those bony accent on the belt. Hey, little editing note, I forgot to film painting this thing, the wand. I used Frostheart for that. So when you're painting the wand, use Frostheart. That's all. Alright, back at it. We're doing Nuln Oil for the pigtails. That's just going to give us a little bit of some detail in those braids while keeping it gray, but not too gray, as if we were using Basilicanum or something darker. And then Gulliman Flesh here, dotted around for the gold on the earrings. Coming in with our first highlights, we're using Violet 3. We're going to apply this all around the purple robes and cowl and tunic and all that. And we're just going to go around and pick out all of those areas that might have some blotching, some staining. We're going to go over those repeatedly. We're going to pick out our highlights, our little edge highlights, and we're going to bring up some of those details. When that's all smoothed out and nice, we're going to go in with a Violet 2 as well, or just any other, higher purples. You don't have to use the paints that I'm using. But we're going to use that for a next step up highlight. It is a little bit of a grayer highlight, so if you want something more pinky, go right ahead. But we're just going all around and building up some more highlights. Then we have Wraithbone coming in. We're going to do in all of our stitches. There's lots of little stitching details here, but we're going to use this Wraithbone to bring those up as some white or off-white threading. I'm also going to put some dots here on this flask to give it some color, as well as highlight up that bone skull as well. Gunmetal for the couple little dots that we do have of metal on this figure. So some clasps, one on the front, one on the back, as well as some little spikes on that wrist bracer. And then we're just going to use Nuln Oil Gloss here to add in some shiny shadowing on those metal bits. Remember, this paint doesn't exist anymore, so mix up your own using a dark tone and a gloss varnish, or just apply one layer at a time. We're going to use Green 2 for our skin highlight, our first skin line highlight here. Remember, that's just going to clean up any blotching, smooth out some details, as well as just brighten it up overall. And when that's done, we're going in with Green 1, and this is what's going to give us our very neon goblin skin tone that we're used to doing here on the channel. So just go around, get all those little face details. There's actually quite a lot of nice facial expression in there, so take your time. And those big old hands, those juicy big old mitts, they do have some cool detail in there that you can pop out. I'm using a Yandin Yellow for a little bit of extra detail on that flask down at the bottom, just to give it a little extra color. Now for extras, I'm trying to push this purple robe a little bit farther, so I'm using Slanesh Gray following with that kind of off gray, lighter violet tones rather than pinky purple. So I'm just going in with that one and adding some final further highlights all around that purple robe. Then we're going to use Guilliman Flesh here to touch up just the ends of those ears and the nose, and just add some rosy kind of subsurface scattering look, some rosacea on the skin. And then following that up with Kislev Flesh for a little bit of a more peachy skin highlight to those areas as well. Then we're coming in with Retributor Armor, because guess what? I forgot about the earrings. So we're doing the earrings here as well. So you could do this way, way earlier, but if you stuck around, hey, do it here. Then we're using Chrome, putting Chrome here for all of our little ping highlights. You can see I didn't even bother with our usual gloss. It doesn't really matter. It's okay. Bold Titanium White here, we're dry brushing it onto this little wand, and then picking out some areas that we want to be really bright. You don't have to dry brush it. You can go straight to just picking out those areas, but I like that softer look it gives. Then we're going around as well on the hair and just putting in some detail with this white, bringing those pigtails to life. We're also going to use this on the little skull buckle just to give it a little bit more brightness, as well as you can see me here dotting on that flask. You can also use this too on the stitches as well and bring those up in brightness. And then for the bottom of this skirt, the red part, I'm just adding some little texture highlights, little scratchy bright lines, as well as going around on the red accents and adding some more of the same on those, just to highlight up that red. And then we base it like normal. The gray paint, texture paint, dry brush, wash, and a dry brush. And there you have it, a pretty slick looking Goblin Warlock for your Jungles of Delthrak. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I really like the complement of the green and the purple, the green and the red. I think the red and the purple goes together. So altogether, really complementary and homogeneous color scheme, you know, for not having any reference. I'm thinking maybe in another video, I might show you guys how to do that, how to come up with your own color schemes, how to just make something up and process behind that. Might give you some ideas. What do you think? But that is it for the Jungles of Delthrak bosses, all the monsters, the new ones at least. They're all finished, all taken care of, and we move on next to the heroes and that special little animal partner that we've got going on. I think it's a saber fang or something of the like. Some kind of tiger-lion hybrid. We might be looking at that next coming up, so keep an eye out. As always, big thanks to the patron supporters. Big ups to everybody who watches and likes and comments and interacts and whatnot. Just having fun along the ride. Everybody who's just chilling out as we paint stuff. What a good start to 2025. Bye-bye!